She needed somewhere cheap to disappear. A hidden treehouse for $150. Inside, she found more than shelter. She found a life she'd already lost. Before we start, tell me in the comments, have you ever found something that changed how you saw your own life? The eviction notice was still taped to the door when Maya Carter carried the last box down to her car. 3 years in that apartment. 3 years of double shifts and missed bedtimes and telling Sophie that things would get better soon. Now the landlord's handwriting mocked her from the yellow paper. 7 days to vacate. Past due rent. $2,847. Maya didn't have $2,847. She had $150.32, to be exact. And a 6-year-old daughter who kept asking when they could go home. Sophie sat in the back seat now, clutching her stuffed rabbit, her legs swinging above the floor mats. She'd stopped asking questions an hour ago. Children always knew when the answers were too heavy. Maya gripped the steering wheel and stared at the dashboard. The gas light blinked. Half a tank left, maybe less. She'd already called everyone. Her mother lived in a care facility now, Alzheimer's, no visitors allowed. Her ex had disappeared 2 years ago, leaving nothing but unpaid child support and a restraint order that didn't matter anymore because he was gone. Friends had tried. Couches were offered. Spare rooms mentioned. But Maya had watched the hesitation in their eyes. The silent math they were doing. How long can we carry someone else's weight? She couldn't ask anymore. Wouldn't. That's when she opened her phone and scrolled through Craigslist one more time. Apartments were out of the question first month, last month, deposit. Even studios wanted $1,200 up front. Rooms for rent required background checks she'd fail. Her credit score had died quietly 2 evictions ago. She clicked on for sale instead of housing. Maybe she could buy something. Anything. A van. A trailer. Somewhere Sophie could sleep that wasn't the back seat of a 12-year-old Honda. That's when she saw it. Treehouse for sale. Hidden. Secluded. $150. No questions asked. Maya stared at the screen. The ad had no photos, no address, just a phone number and those 9 words. It was insane. It was probably a scam, but $150 was all she had, and insane was starting to look like her only option. She glanced back at Sophie, who was tracing shapes on the foggy window with her finger. "Baby, I need to make a quick call, okay?" Sophie nodded without looking up. Maya stepped out of the car and dialed the number, her thumb hovering over the call button for a long moment. Then she pressed it. 2 rings. 3. A man's voice answered low, rough, the kind that had been worn smooth by years. "Yeah? Hi. I'm calling about the treehouse?" Silence. Then, "You got the money?" Maya's throat tightened. "Yes, but I need to see it first. I have a daughter, and I need to make sure it's safe," he interrupted. "Solid. Been there 40 years. Roof don't leak. Got a wood stove, too." "Where is it?" Another pause. Longer this time. "Off Route 38. 3 hours east. Forest land, private. No neighbors. You want it or not?" Maya closed her eyes. 3 hours east was the middle of nowhere. No neighbors meant no help if something went wrong. But no neighbors also meant no one asking questions. No landlords, no evictions. "I want to see it," she said. "Bring cash. Meet me at the coordinates I text you. Tomorrow, noon. Wait, what's your name?" "Doesn't matter. You coming or not?" Maya looked at Sophie through the window. Her daughter's breath had fogged the glass, and she was drawing a flower in the condensation. "I'm coming." "Good. And miss?" "Yeah?" His voice dropped, quieter now, almost a warning. Don't go up there at night. Not the first night. The line went dead. Maya stood in the parking lot, phone still pressed to her ear, her pulse hammering. Don't go up there at night. What the hell did that mean? She should hang up, delete the number, drive somewhere, anywhere else. But where? A shelter. She'd been to shelters. Cots in rows, lights that never turned off, the smell of industrial cleaner and desperation. Sophie crying because strangers were too close. Her car? How long before someone called CPS because a child was sleeping in a vehicle? Maya looked at her phone. The coordinates had already arrived. A pin dropped in the middle of green on the map. No roads nearby. No towns. Just trees. She climbed back into the car. Sophie looked up. Where are we going, Mama? Maya started the engine. Somewhere new, baby. Somewhere quiet. Is it far? A little. Will we have our own room? Maya's chest tightened. Yeah, sweetheart. We'll have our own place. Sophie smiled. Small, tired, but real. And Maya drove. 3 hours later, the GPS lost signal. Maya had been following a 2-lane highway that narrowed into a single-lane road, then gravel, then dirt. Now she was parked at the end of a trail barely wide enough for her car, staring at coordinates on a screen that no longer showed anything but her blue dot blinking in a sea of green. The trees here were old, massive, the kind that blocked out the sky. Ahead, a narrow footpath disappeared into shadow. Stay close, Maya said, helping Sophie out of the car. They walked. The air smelled like moss and rain. Branches whispered overhead. Every few steps, Maya checked her phone, watching the dot inch closer to the pin. Then she saw it. Not on the ground. Up. The treehouse rose from the center of an ancient oak, its trunk wider than her car. Wooden planks formed walls, weathered but solid. A sloped roof, darkened with age. A small deck wrapped around the front, and wooden steps spiraled up the trunk like a spine. It was bigger than she'd expected. And quieter. No one had been here in a long time. Maya's breath caught. A man stood at the base of the tree. Old, maybe 70, with silver hair and a face carved by weather. He wore a flannel shirt and boots caked in mud. He didn't smile. You Maya? She nodded. You got the money? She pulled the cash from her pocket, 7 20s and a 10, folded and damp from her palm. He took it without counting and handed her a single rusted key. It's yours now. Wait, don't you need to show me? No. His voice was flat, final. Everything you need to know is up there. You'll figure it out. He turned to leave. Wait, Maya called. You said not to go up there at night. Why? The old man stopped. He didn't turn around. Because the first night, you need to understand what you bought. Then he walked into the trees and disappeared. Maya stood there, key in hand, staring up at the treehouse. Sophie tugged her sleeve. Mama, can we go see? Maya swallowed hard. Yeah, baby, let's go see. They climbed. The wooden steps creaked under their weight but held firm. At the top, Maya slid the key into the lock. The door opened. And inside, on the floor just past the threshold, lay a small wooden chest. Unopened. Waiting, Maya stepped inside. The air was cool, still, untouched by time. The treehouse was larger than it looked from below one main room, with wooden walls darkened by age, a sloped ceiling that followed the curve of the oak's branches, and small windows on 3 sides that let in filtered green light. It smelled like cedar and dust and something faintly sweet. Old wood, dried leaves, memory. Sophie moved to the center of the room, her shoes making soft sounds on the plank floor. "It's pretty, Mama." Maya didn't answer right away. She was staring at the wooden chest on the floor. It sat just inside the doorway, as if someone had placed it there deliberately, waiting. The wood was dark, polished, smooth by hands that were no longer here. A leather strap wrapped around it, buckled with a tarnished brass clasp. No lock, no note, just the chest. Maya knelt beside it, her pulse quickening. "What's in there?" Sophie asked, crouching beside her. "I don't know, baby." Her fingers trembled as she unbuckled the strap. The clasp clicked open. She lifted the lid. Inside, carefully arranged, were 3 things. A stack of children's drawings, faded and curling at the edges. A leather-bound journal, worn soft with use. And a photograph. Maya picked up the photograph first. It showed a woman and a little girl, maybe 4 or 5 years old. They stood in front of this treehouse. Maya recognized the oak, the railing, the sloped roof. The woman had dark hair pulled back in a braid, tired eyes, but a smile that looked hard-won. The little girl clung to her leg, grinning at the camera with missing front teeth. On the back, in faded ink, "Anna and Lily, Our Safe Place, 2015. Maya's breath caught. She turned the photo over again, studying the woman's face. There was something in her expression. Relief, maybe, or hope, but also fear. Like someone who knew safety was temporary. Sophie reached for one of the drawings. It was done in crayon, a tree, a house in the branches, 2 stick figures holding hands, a sun in the corner, the sky filled with birds. At the bottom, in a child's uneven handwriting, "Me and Mama." "She drew this here," Sophie said quietly. Maya's throat tightened. She picked up the journal. The leather cover was soft, splitting at the seams. She opened it carefully. The first page was dated 8 years ago. If someone finds this, it means I didn't make it out. But maybe you did. Maybe you're here because you needed a place to hide, too. I hope you find what I couldn't, Peace. Maya's hands shook. She flipped through the pages. Entries in careful handwriting, dates. Fragments of a life lived in fear. He doesn't know about this place. No one does. Just my father. This is where Lily will be safe. She drew today. Said the treehouse is magic. I didn't tell her we're hiding. I told her we're on an adventure. I have to go back tomorrow. Get our things. Birth certificates, money, anything I can carry. Then we leave for good. The entries grew shorter, more frantic. He knows something. He keeps asking where I go. I'm scared. Tomorrow. We leave tomorrow. And then, blank pages. Nothing more. Maya sat back, the journal heavy in her hands. Sophie was looking through the drawings now, spreading them out on the floor. "Mama, look. She drew her daddy, too." Maya's stomach turned. She looked at the drawing Sophie held up. It showed 3 stick figures. A woman, a girl, and a man standing apart from them, colored in dark, heavy strokes. His arms were long, reaching. Across the top of the page, in that same child's handwriting, "Daddy is mad." Maya closed her eyes. She knew this story. She'd lived a version of it herself. A man who smiled in public and became someone else behind closed doors. A mother trying to protect her child. A plan to escape that had to stay secret or it would never work. But Anna hadn't made it out. The journal ended. The drawings stopped. And now Maya was sitting in the place Anna had built to save her daughter. "Where's the little girl now?" Sophie asked, holding up another drawing. Maya didn't know how to answer. She stood and walked to the window, looking out at the forest. The sun was sinking, painting the trees in amber and shadow. The old man's warning echoed in her mind. Don't go up there at night. Not the first night. Why? What happened here? Maya turned back to the room. It was clean. Too clean. No dust on the windowsills. No cobwebs in the corners. Someone had been here recently. Maintaining it. Keeping it ready. For what? Her eyes moved to the far corner of the room, where a small wood stove sat against the wall. Beside it, a neat stack of firewood. And next to that, a shelf with supplies. Candles, matches, canned food, blankets folded in a careful pile. Whoever had left this place hadn't abandoned it. They'd preserved it. Maya walked over and ran her hand along the shelf. That's when she saw it, tucked between two blankets, a second photograph. She pulled it free. This one was newer. A teenage girl, maybe 13 or 14, standing in front of a gray building. Her face was thin, guarded. Dark circles under her eyes. She wore a hoodie 2 sizes too big and looked at the camera like she didn't trust it. But Maya recognized her immediately. The same dark hair, the same sharp eyes. Lily. On the back, in different handwriting, older, shakier, still waiting, still hoping. Maya's pulse quickened. Anna was gone, but Lily wasn't. She was out there, somewhere. And someone, maybe the old man, was still trying to bring her home. Maya looked at Sophie, who was carefully stacking the drawings into a pile. Her daughter had no idea what this place really was. A refuge. A tomb. A promise someone couldn't keep. And now Maya was standing in the middle of it. Outside, the light faded. The forest grew dark. Maya lit a candle and set it on the shelf. The flame flickered, casting long shadows across the walls. Sophie yawned. I'm tired, Mama. I know, baby. Let's get you to bed. Maya unrolled the blankets and made a soft nest on the floor for Sophie. Within minutes, her daughter was asleep, her breath slow and steady. Maya sat beside her, the journal open in her lap. She read the last entry again. If you're reading this, I didn't make it. Please find her. The words felt like hands reaching through time. A plea from a stranger who had become unbearably familiar. Maya closed the journal and looked out the window. The trees were black now, swaying in the wind. And somewhere in the darkness, she heard it. A sound. Faint. Distant. Footsteps on the wooden stairs. Maya didn't move. The footsteps grew louder. Slow. Deliberate. Climbing. Her heart hammered against her ribs. She looked at Sophie, still asleep, curled beneath the blanket. Then back at the door. The footsteps stopped. Silence. Maya held her breath. A soft knock. 3 taps. Careful and quiet. Then a voice low. Familiar. It's me. Don't be scared. The old man. Maya exhaled, her hands still shaking. She stood and opened the door. He stood on the small deck, his face shadowed in the dim light. He looked older now, tired in a way that went deeper than age. You read it, he said. Not a question. A statement. Maya nodded. Then you know. Know what? Her voice came out sharper than she intended. That a woman died? That her daughter's out there somewhere? That you sold me a place with ghosts? He didn't flinch. I sold you a place with a purpose. What does that mean? He stepped closer, his eyes moving past her to the wooden chest on the floor. Anna was my daughter. Lily's my granddaughter. I built this place for them when things got bad. Thought it would be enough. His voice cracked. It wasn't. Maya's anger softened into something heavier. What happened to her? She went back. One last time. Said she needed documents, money, things she couldn't leave behind. I told her not to. Told her to take Lily and run, but she didn't listen. He paused, his hands gripping the railing. They found her 3 days later. Car accident, they said. Single vehicle. Drove off the road. You don't believe that? No. The word hung in the air. Maya's stomach turned. And Lily? Foster care. I tried to get her, but I'm old. Sick. They said I wasn't stable enough. So she's been bouncing around the system for 8 years. Group homes. Temporary placements. She's 14 now. He looked at Maya, and for the first time, she saw the weight he'd been carrying. I keep this place ready, in case she ever comes looking, in case someone who understands shows up. Someone like me. Yeah. Maya crossed her arms, trying to hold herself together. I can't save her. I can barely save myself. I'm not asking you to save her. Then what are you asking? He reached into his coat and pulled out a folded piece of paper. Just read the rest of the journal. All of it. Then decide. He handed her the paper and turned to leave. Wait, where are you going? Home. This place isn't mine anymore. It's yours. And maybe hers if you let it be. He descended the stairs, his footsteps fading into the dark. Maya stood on the deck, the paper cold in her hand. She went back inside and locked the door. Sophie stirred but didn't wake. Maya sat by the candle and unfolded the paper. It was a photocopy of a news article. Local woman dies in single car accident. Daughter placed in state care. The photograph showed Anna the same woman from the picture, but older, thinner. The article was brief, clinical. No mention of the husband, no investigation. Just another tragic accident. Maya set the article aside and picked up the journal again. She'd only read the first few entries. Now she read them all. Maya didn't sleep that night. She sat by the window, watching the forest shadows shift in the moonlight, Anna's journal heavy in her lap. By dawn, she'd made a decision. She had to find Lily. Not because she was a hero. Not because she had a plan. But because she knew what it felt like to be the daughter left behind. The nearest town was 20 miles away, a collection of tired buildings along a 2-lane highway, a gas station, a diner, a post office that doubled as a general store. Maya left Sophie with a coloring book in the car and walked into the diner. The woman behind the counter looked up from wiping down tables. 60, maybe older, with gray hair pulled into a bun and eyes that had seen too much to be surprised by anything. Help you? I'm looking for information about someone. A woman named Anna. She lived around here about 8 years ago. The woman's expression shifted. Anna Brennan? Yes. She set down the rag and crossed her arms. You family? No. But Maya hesitated. I'm staying in her treehouse. Her father sold it to me. I found some things, and I'm trying to understand what happened. The woman studied her for a long moment. Then she sighed. Sit down. Maya slid into a booth. The woman poured 2 cups of coffee and sat across from her. Anna was a sweet girl. Married young. Too young. Guy named Derek Brennan. Charming at first. Then, she shook her head. We all knew. But knowing doesn't help when someone won't leave. She tried to leave, Maya said quietly. I heard. Her father built that treehouse for her. Thought it'd be safe, but she went back one more time. The woman's voice dropped. They found her car at the bottom of a ravine. Single vehicle accident, they said. But the brakes were cut. Everyone knew it. Nobody could prove it. Maya's stomach turned. What about her husband? Investigated. Nothing stuck. He had an alibi. A co-worker who said he was at work all day. Case went cold. He moved away a year later. Nobody's seen him since. And Lily? The woman's face softened. Poor kid. Foster care. Bounced around. I tried to keep track, but after a while. She trailed off. Her grandfather's the only one who stayed close, but he's sick now. Can't do much. Maya wrapped her hands around the coffee cup. Do you know where she is? Last I heard, Portland. Group home on Burnside. But that was a few months ago. They move her a lot. Anger issues, they say. Can you blame her? No, the woman said. I can't. Maya drove back to the treehouse, her mind racing. Sophie was quiet in the back seat, sensing her mother's tension. Mama, are you okay? Yeah, baby. Just thinking. About the little girl? Maya glanced in the rearview mirror. How did you know about her? The drawings. She was sad. Maya's chest tightened. Yeah, she was. They climbed back up to the treehouse as the afternoon light slanted through the trees. Inside, Maya pulled out the box with Lily's documents. She found the caseworker's name, Linda Marsh. She dialed the number on her phone. It rang 4 times before a tired voice answered. Child Services. This is Linda. Hi, my name is Maya Carter. I'm calling about Lily Brennan. A pause. Are you a relative? No, but Maya hesitated. How did she explain this? I'm staying in a place that belonged to her mother. I found some things, and I'd like to help if I can. Help, how? I'd like to meet her, talk to her, maybe offer support. Another pause, longer this time. Look, Miss Carter, I appreciate the thought. But Lily's not in a good place right now. She doesn't trust adults, doesn't trust the system, and she's been moved so many times that stability isn't something she believes in anymore. I understand that. Do you? The question hit harder than Maya expected. Yes, she said quietly. I do. Linda sighed. She's at Riverside Group Home, Burnside Street. But I can't promise she'll talk to you. And I definitely can't promise she'll care. That's okay. I just need to try. Why? Maya looked at Sophie, coloring quietly on the floor. Because someone tried for me once, and it saved my life. Linda was silent for a moment. Riverside. Visiting hours are weekdays 2 to 4. Ask for me when you get there. Thank you. Maya ended the call and sat back. Sophie looked up. Are we going to find her? Yeah, baby. We're going to try. The drive to Portland took 2 hours. Maya had $7 left after buying gas. Riverside Group Home was a low, gray building surrounded by chain-link fencing. It looked more like a school than a home, sterile and institutional. Maya parked and took a breath. Stay here, okay? I'll be fast. Sophie nodded. Inside, the lobby smelled like disinfectant and old carpet. A woman at the front desk looked up. Help you? I'm here to see Linda Marsh. She's expecting me. The woman made a call, then pointed down the hall. Second door on the left. Linda Marsh's office was small, cluttered with files and coffee cups. She looked exactly like her voice sounded exhausted but still trying. Miss Carter? Yes. Thank you for seeing me. Linda gestured to a chair. I'll be honest. I'm not sure this is a good idea. Lily's been through a lot. She doesn't open up easily. I'm not asking her to open up. I just want to meet her. Let her know someone's thinking about her. Linda studied her. You said someone tried for you once. What did you mean? Maya hesitated. Then she told her. About her ex, about the nights Sophie hid in the closet, about the shelter worker who'd helped her file the restraining order and found them a place to stay, about how one person caring had been the difference between staying and leaving. Linda listened without interrupting. When Maya finished, she nodded slowly. Okay, I'll bring her in, but if she doesn't want to talk, we stop. Agreed? Agreed. Linda left. Maya sat alone, her pulse hammering. 5 minutes later, the door opened, and Lily walked in. She was 14 but looked older, thin, guarded. with dark hair pulled into a messy bun and eyes that had learned not to hope. She wore a hoodie 2 sizes too big and kept her arms crossed. Linda stood behind her. "Lily, this is Maya Carter. She wanted to meet you." Lily said nothing. Maya stood. "Hi, Lily. I know this is strange, but who are you?" Lily's voice was flat. Defensive. "I'm staying in your mom's treehouse." Lily's expression didn't change, but something flickered behind her eyes. So? "So I found some things. Her journal, her letters, and I thought you should know that she loved you, that she tried." "I know she tried." Lily's voice was cold. "She failed." The words landed like a punch. Maya nodded. "You're right. She did. And I can't fix that. But I wanted you to know someone's still trying." Lily stared at her. "Why?" "Because I know what it's like to be left behind. And I know what it's like when someone decides you're worth fighting for." For the first time, Lily's armor cracked. Just slightly. "You don't know me." "No, but I know your mom. And I think she'd want someone to finish what she started." Lily's jaw tightened. Then she turned and walked out. Linda sighed. "I'm sorry. That's about as good as it gets." Maya stood there, her heart sinking. But as she turned to leave, Linda handed her a folded piece of paper. "She left this on the table." Maya unfolded it. In careful handwriting, "Is the treehouse still there?" Maya stood in the parking lot, staring at the note. "Is the treehouse still there?" 4 words that changed everything. Lily hadn't forgotten. She'd been looking. Maya folded the note carefully and climbed into her car. Sophie looked up from her coloring book. "Did you find her?" "Yeah, baby. I found her." "Is she coming with us?" Maya's chest tightened. "I don't know yet." She drove back to the treehouse in silence, her mind spinning. Lily was angry, guarded, broken in the way only abandoned children could be. But she'd asked about the treehouse, which meant some part of her still believed in it, still hoped. That night, Maya sat on the deck, Anna's journal open in her lap. The forest was quiet except for the wind moving through the branches. Sophie was asleep inside, wrapped in blankets. Maya read the entries again, slower this time. One passage stopped her cold. "I'm not afraid of dying. I'm afraid of Lily growing up thinking I didn't love her enough to stay. I'm afraid she'll forget me. I'm afraid she'll believe the lies he tells. If I don't make it, please tell her the truth. Tell her I fought. Tell her the treehouse was always meant to be hers." Maya closed the journal and pressed her palms against her eyes. She didn't want this. Didn't ask for it. But Anna's words wouldn't let her go. And neither would Lily's note. If you've been following her story this far, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more stories that remind us how the hardest choices are often the ones that define who we really are. The next morning, Maya called Linda. "I want to bring her here." "To the treehouse?" "Yes," Linda sighed. "Maya, I can't authorize that. You're not a licensed foster parent. You're not even family." "I know, but she asked about it. She wants to see it. That doesn't mean it's safe." "Safe from what?" "She's already in the system. Already angry. Already lost. What's the worst that could happen?" "She could run. She could get hurt. And I'd lose my job." Maya's voice softened. "Or she could find the one thing her mother left her. The one place that was supposed to keep her safe." Linda was quiet for a long time. "If I arrange this, and that's a big if, you stay with her the entire time, you bring her back by 5, and if anything goes wrong, it's on you." "I understand. I'll call you back." Linda called 2 hours later. "Saturday, 2 o'clock. I'll bring her myself. But Maya, don't make promises you can't keep." "I won't." Saturday came too fast. Maya spent the morning cleaning the treehouse, sweeping dust, airing out blankets, setting Anna's journal on the small table where Lily would see it. Sophie helped, arranging the drawings in a neat stack. "Is she going to like it here?" Sophie asked. "I hope so, baby." At 2 o'clock, Linda's car pulled up at the base of the trail. Maya climbed down to meet them. Lily stood beside the car, arms crossed, eyes scanning the forest like she was looking for an escape route. Linda handed Maya a clipboard. "Sign here. She's your responsibility until 5. Not a minute later." Maya signed. Linda looked at Lily. "Be good, and be back on time." Lily didn't respond. Linda drove away, leaving them alone. For a moment, neither of them moved. Then Maya spoke quietly. "It's up there, if you want to see it." Lily's eyes moved to the tree, to the wooden stairs spiraling up the trunk. "Is it the same?" "I don't know. I never saw it before, but it's still there." Lily hesitated. Then she started climbing. Maya followed, Sophie close behind. At the top, Lily stopped in the doorway. Her breath caught. Maya watched as the girl stepped inside, her eyes moving over every surface. The wood stove, the shelf, the window seat where Anna must have Saturday. Lily's hands trembled as she touched the wall. She really built this. Yeah, she did. Lily walked to the table and saw the journal. She picked it up slowly, like it might break. "Can I read it?" "It's yours." Lily sat on the floor and opened it. Maya took Sophie outside to give her space. They sat on the deck, watching the forest. An hour passed. Then Lily appeared in the doorway. Her eyes were red, but she wasn't crying. "She was going to take me away." "Yes, but she went back. She thought she had to. To get your things, to make sure you'd be okay." Lily's voice cracked. "I would have been okay without my things. I just needed her." Maya stood and faced her. "I know. And she knew that too. But fear makes people do things that don't make sense. She thought she was protecting you. She wasn't. No, she wasn't." They stood in silence. Then Lily's face changed. Her body went rigid. "What's wrong?" Maya asked. Lily was staring past her, down at the trail below. Maya turned. A man stood at the base of the tree. Tall, dark jacket, hands in his pockets. Watching. Lily's voice was barely a whisper. "That's him." Maya's blood went cold. "Your father?" "Yeah." The man didn't move, just stood there, looking up. Then he smiled. Maya didn't move. She stood frozen on the deck, staring at the spot where Derek had been. Lily's voice was tight, strangled. "We need to go. Now." Maya grabbed Sophie's hand and they descended the stairs, moving fast. By the time they reached the bottom, Derek was gone. No car, no footprints, just the empty trail and the sound of wind through the trees. Maya's hands shook as she pulled out her phone. No signal. Of course. They were too deep in the forest. "Get in the car," she said, her voice sharper than she meant. Lily didn't argue. They drove in silence, Maya's eyes flicking to the rearview mirror every few seconds. No one followed, but the damage was done. He knew. Maya dropped Lily off at the group home at 4:58 p.m. Linda was waiting outside, arms crossed. "Everything okay?" Maya forced a smile. "Yeah, fine." Linda looked at Lily, who had her hood pulled up, eyes on the ground. "You sure?" "We're sure," Maya said quickly. Linda didn't look convinced, but she let it go. As Lily walked toward the building, she glanced back once. Her expression said everything. "Don't leave me here." But Maya had no choice. She drove away, her chest tight. That night, Sophie fell asleep quickly, exhausted from the day. Maya sat on the deck, wrapped in a blanket, staring at the dark forest. She should leave. Pack up, drive away, forget she ever found Anna's journal. But every time she closed her eyes, she saw Lily's face. The way she'd touched the walls of the treehouse like she was trying to feel her mother's hands. The way she'd whispered, "I just needed her." Maya pulled out her phone. Still no signal. She'd have to drive back to town tomorrow and call the police. Report the sighting. Let them handle it. But what would they do? Derek hadn't done anything, hadn't threatened anyone, just stood there, watching. Maya's stomach turned. She stood and went inside, locking the door behind her. She checked the windows, all secure. Then she lay down beside Sophie and tried to sleep. She woke to Sophie, shaking her shoulder. "Mama, someone's outside." Maya's pulse spiked. She sat up, listening. Footsteps. Slow, circling the base of the tree. Maya grabbed her phone and crept to the window. Below, a figure moved through the shadows. Tall, dark jacket. Derek. He wasn't hiding anymore. Maya's hands trembled as she dialed 911. No signal. She tried again. Nothing. The footsteps stopped. Silence. Then a voice, calm and cold, drifted up from below. "I know you're up there." Maya's blood went ice. "Stay away from my daughter." She didn't respond. Didn't breathe. "This is your only warning." Then the footsteps resumed, moving away, fading into the forest. Maya stood at the window for an hour, waiting for him to come back. He didn't. But the message was clear. If you've been following her story this far, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more, because what happens next will show you what one person's refusal to look away can truly change. The next morning, Maya drove to town the moment the sun rose. She went straight to the police station, a small building with 2 patrol cars parked outside. The officer at the desk looked bored until she explained what happened. Then he leaned forward. "You're saying Derek Brennan was at your property?" "Yes." "Did he threaten you?" "He told me to stay away from his daughter." "Did he touch you, damage anything?" "No, but—" "Then there's nothing we can do." Maya stared at him. "He killed his wife. That case is closed. Ruled an accident." "Everyone knows it wasn't." The officer's expression hardened. "Look, I understand you're concerned, but unless he commits a crime, we can't arrest him for standing in the woods. He's dangerous. Maybe. But being dangerous isn't illegal." Maya left the station, her hands shaking with anger. No one was going to help. Not the police. Not the system. She was on her own. Back at the treehouse, Maya paced the small room. Sophie watched her quietly. "Mama, what's wrong?" "Nothing, baby. Just thinking." But it wasn't nothing. Derek knew where they were. He knew about Lily. And he'd made it clear, stay away. Or else. Maya sank onto the floor, her back against the wall. She should leave. Take Sophie and go. Find somewhere safe. But then what? Lily would stay in the system. Alone. Waiting for someone who never came. Just like Anna had feared. Maya's eyes moved to the journal on the shelf. She stood and picked it up, flipping through the pages again. And that's when she saw it. A section she'd missed before, tucked near the back. The handwriting was different here. Hurried. Desperate. "I've been documenting everything. Dates, bruises, hospital visits. I recorded him once, when he didn't know. It's all here, hidden. If something happens to me, someone needs to find it. Someone needs to finish this." Maya's breath caught. She read it again. Hidden. She looked around the room, her pulse quickening. Where? She moved to the wood stove, checking behind it. Nothing. The shelf. The floorboards. Nothing. Then she saw it. A small seam in the wall, barely visible, near the corner where the roof met the floor. She ran her fingers along it and felt the wood give slightly. She pressed. A panel popped loose. Inside was a gap in the wall, dark and narrow. Maya reached in. Her fingers closed around a plastic bag. She pulled it out. Inside, a small voice recorder, a folder of medical records, photographs of bruises, hospital bracelets, police reports that had been filed and ignored. And at the bottom, a USB drive. Maya's hands shook as she held it. Anna had done it. She'd built a case. Everything Derek had done, documented and preserved. This was the evidence that could have saved her. And now it could save Lily. Maya didn't sleep. She sat at the small table, the evidence spread before her like pieces of a life Anna never got to finish. Medical records dated over 3 years, bruises documented, hospital visits explained away as accidents, police reports filed and dismissed. And the voice recorder? Maya pressed play. Anna's voice filled the room, shaky but clear. It's March 10th, 2015. He came home drunk again. Lily was asleep. He threw a glass at me. It hit the wall. I told him I'd leave if he touched her. He laughed. Said I'd never make it out. That no one would believe me. A pause. Then quieter. He's right. No one ever does. Maya stopped the recording, her chest tight. She looked at Sophie, asleep on the floor. Then at the evidence. This was it. Everything Anna had fought for. Everything she'd died trying to protect. And now it was Maya's choice. Walk away. Or finish it. The next morning, Maya drove to Portland. She went to the police station first. This time, she didn't ask. She demanded. She placed the folder, the voice recorder, and the USB drive on the desk in front of the officer. Derek Brennan killed his wife. And this is proof. The officer, a different one this time, older, looked at the materials. Then at her. Where did you get this? Does it matter? He picked up the voice recorder and listened. His expression changed. Wait here. He disappeared into a back room. 20 minutes later, a detective came out. She was in her 40s, sharp-eyed, with the look of someone who'd seen too much and stopped being surprised by any of it. I'm Detective Carver. You're Maya Carter? Yes. And this evidence, where has it been for 8 years? Hidden. In the tree house Anna built. I found it 2 days ago. Carver studied her. Why bring it now? Because her daughter's in danger, and because no one else will. Carver nodded slowly. We'll need to verify everything. But if this is authentic, we can reopen the case. Possibly charge him with obstruction, tampering, maybe more. How long will that take? Days. Maybe weeks. He's watching her, following me, threatening us. Carver's expression hardened. Then we move faster. By that afternoon, Derek Brennan was in custody. Arrested on charges of evidence, tampering, and intimidation, with the old case reopened for investigation. Maya sat in Linda's office, exhausted, as the caseworker explained what would happen next. Lily's being moved to a safer placement, temporarily, until we know Derek's not getting out. Can I see her? Linda hesitated. She's asked for you. Maya's breath caught. She has? Yeah. I don't know what you said to her, but something got through. Maya found Lily in a small visitation room at the group home. She sat at a table, arms crossed, staring at the wall. When Maya walked in, Lily looked up. Her face was unreadable. Maya sat across from her. For a long moment, neither spoke. Then, Lily's voice, quiet and raw. They said you found something. In the treehouse. Yeah, your mom's evidence. Everything she'd been gathering to keep you safe. Lily's jaw tightened. She didn't keep me safe. No, but she tried. And she left something behind so someone else could finish what she started. Lily's eyes filled with tears, but she didn't let them fall. Why did you care? The question hung in the air. Maya's throat tightened. Because I saw myself in her. What do you mean? Maya took a breath. I had someone like your dad. Sophie's father. He wasn't as bad, maybe, but bad enough. And for a long time, I didn't leave. I told myself it wasn't that bad. That I could handle it. That leaving would make things worse. Her voice cracked. Your mom made the same choice. She stayed too long. And when she finally decided to leave, it was too late. Lily's hands clenched into fists. So you helped me because you felt guilty? No. I helped you because I know what it's like to be the daughter left behind. And I know what it's like when someone decides you're worth fighting for. Lily stared at her, tears finally spilling over. I don't remember her. Not really. Just pieces. Her voice, the way she smelled like vanilla, the treehouse. That's enough. Is it? Maya reached across the table, her hand open. It has to be. Lily hesitated. Then she took Maya's hand. They sat like that, silent, holding on to something neither could name. Finally, Lily spoke, her voice barely a whisper. Can I go back? To the treehouse? Maya nodded. Yeah, anytime you want. I need to see it again. The place she loved. The place I was supposed to be safe. Maya squeezed her hand. Then we'll go. Together. 3 weeks later, Maya drove back to the treehouse with Sophie and Lily. It was early morning, the kind of light that made everything look new. Lily sat in the passenger seat, quiet but not closed off. Sophie was in the back, drawing in her notebook. They climbed the wooden stairs together, slower this time. At the top, Lily stopped in the doorway. She looked at Maya. Can I go in alone first? Maya nodded. Take your time. Lily stepped inside and closed the door softly behind her. Maya and Sophie sat on the deck, watching the forest wake up. Is she okay? Sophie asked. I think so, baby. She just needs a minute. 10 minutes later, the door opened. Lily's eyes were red, but she was smiling. A small, real smile. She was here, Lily said quietly. I can feel her. Maya stood. Yeah, she was. They spent the morning together, the three of them. Lily read Anna's journal out loud, her voice steady. Sophie listened, tracing her finger along the drawings Anna had saved. They found a small patch of earth near the base of the tree where Anna had planned a garden. Together, they planted forget-me-nots. Lily pressed the seeds into the soil carefully, like she was planting something more than flowers. She wanted this to be a place where I felt safe, Lily said. And now it is, Maya replied. Lily looked at her. Because of you. Maya shook her head. No, because of her. I just finished what she started. Inside, they hung Sophie's drawings beside the ones Anna's daughter had made years ago. 2 childhoods, separated by time, connected by the same small refuge. Lily stood back and looked at the wall. It's like we're all still here. You are, Maya said. All of you. That evening, as the sun dipped below the trees, the 3 of them sat on the deck. The forest was quiet except for the wind and the distant sound of the river. Maya pulled out Anna's journal. She turned to the last page blank, waiting. Lily watched as Maya picked up a pen. What are you writing? Something your mom needs to hear. Maya's hand moved across the page, her handwriting careful and clear. We found her. She's safe now. And so are we. She closed the journal and set it on the railing. Lily leaned against her shoulder. Sophie sat on Maya's other side, her small hand in hers. They didn't speak. They didn't need to. The treehouse had been built as a refuge, a place to hide, but it had become something more. A place where broken things were allowed to heal, where love didn't end, even when the person who gave it was gone, where strangers became family because someone had the courage to finish a fight that wasn't theirs. 6 months later, Maya officially became Lily's foster mother. The paperwork took weeks, the home visits longer, but when the caseworker handed Maya the final documents, Lily was standing beside her. And for the first time in 8 years, Lily looked like she believed in something. They moved into a small house near the treehouse, close enough to visit, far enough to start fresh. Sophie and Lily shared a room by choice, their walls covered in drawings and photographs. Anna's journal sat on the shelf between their beds, and on weekends, they climbed the wooden stairs together. The treehouse was theirs now. Not just Maya's, not just Lily's, theirs. A place where the past didn't haunt them. It held them. One Sunday afternoon, as they sat on the deck, Lily asked quietly, "Do you think she knows? Your mom?" "Yeah." Maya looked out at the forest, the light filtering through the branches like something sacred. "I think she does." Lily nodded. "Good." She pulled something from her pocket, a small, folded piece of paper. She opened it and handed it to Maya. It was a drawing. 3 figures standing in front of a treehouse. 2 women, 2 girls. At the bottom, in Lily's handwriting, "My family." Maya's throat tightened. "Can I keep this?" Lily smiled. "It's yours." They sat in silence as the sun set, painting the sky in shades of amber and gold. And for the first time in a long time, Maya felt something she hadn't felt in years. Peace. Not because everything was fixed, but because she'd chosen to stay, to fight, to finish what someone else had started. And in doing so, she'd saved more than Lily. She'd saved herself. She bought a treehouse for shelter. But what she found inside wasn't just a stranger's story, it was a mirror. Sometimes the only way to heal from what broke us is to keep it from breaking someone else. That's not charity. That's survival.